A lot of people are going to naturally move into the, Michael's way better than LeBron. Let me just say, folks, if anybody watching or listening to this show, if any of you are ever the second best person on the planet at something, I'm not going to take a shot at you. LeBron does more good things with a basketball in his hand than I've ever seen. Michael's probably the most relentless player. But if you're number 2 in the world, congratulations, I tip my cap. The fact that we only now debate MJ and LeBron, we don't debate MJ and Hakeem, MJ and Kareem, MJ and Magic, MJ and Bird, MJ. We don't even debate it. We don't even go there. That tells you the greatness not only of Michael, but of LeBron. Let me repeat something I said last week, and it was amplified. I knew about it and I watched it, and it was worse than I thought. But the fact that this Bulls team, the best American sports team of my life, won 6 titles with all the chaos with the front office. They were fighting their front office. I already had a reservoir of respect for Phil Jackson. He is balancing a GM that resents some players that resent the owner, Jerry Reinsdorf, which I told you last week is the cheap guy, the baseball-loving cheap guy. He won't give Scottie Pippen a new deal. I just couldn't live with myself. MJ carried the league, and halfway through it, he wasn't being paid. He was carrying the whole league, forget the Bulls. It's just remarkable how Phil Jackson and MJ's focus and Phil's just moxie and intelligence could balance what was a chaotic mess. Virtually every dynasty of my life has great ownership or great management. Pat Riley with Miami and the Heatles, or the Rooney family, or, Kraft and Belichick. I mean, Tom Brady didn't have to deal with nonsense all day. Remarkable what they overcame. It also, and you may find this strange, it made me think more than once about Russell Westbrook. This is why Michael loves Russell Westbrook. Russell Westbrook plays hard every night. Every night. No possessions off. And I know you think I hate Westbrook. No, he drives me crazy. But there's a lot of Michael Jordan with Westbrook. When you watch Michael Jordan, and Jordan has said Westbrook's his favorite current player, sometimes Westbrook will do things and you're like, are you nuts? Slow it down, shift down. But then I watched Michael Jordan last night. And Michael Jordan in his second year got hurt. And the doctor said, you can play on it, but if you get hurt again, your career's over. And Michael held a grudge against his owner because his owner was like, I don't think you should do this. I don't think we should take a risk. Michael, I wanted to go, Michael, are you crazy? You're willing to risk your career? Just sit it out. You're not a title team. I thought to myself, Michael's got a little crazy in him. And Westbrook's got some crazy in him. But in a world where players take the night off and load management, I gotta be honest with you. I came out of that thing and I'm like, props to Westbrook. Old school. I like it. I get it. He's not my favorite player, but I respect the hell out of Westbrook. Something else that jumped out to me. Can we acknowledge now? Now, people like me, 40s and 50s, who grew up with the Bulls, have always known the Michael story is not linear. He didn't win without Phil Jackson, and he didn't win without Scottie Pippen. He was just unbelievable. But now, a lot of the mythology, you can all acknowledge now, the 20 and 30-year-olds who didn't see it live, Michael didn't do anything without Pippen and Phil Jackson. And you can think 2 thoughts simultaneously. You can think with one side of your brain, Michael's the best ever, and then think, but he didn't win squat without Pippen and Phil Jackson. And it's okay. He's both. Remember that last night they told you when Pippen, didn't rehab and Michael had to start the year with him? 15 games, they were 8-7. And by the way, he ran through Doug Collins and Stan Albrook, and in the series against Boston, he scored 49 and 63. Yeah, and they lost both of them. The reality, even Michael Jordan admitted, you say my name, you got to say Pippen. You can think 2 things simultaneously. Michael's the best ever, but even Michael needed the right coach and the right Robin to his Batman. So far, this is mostly through 2 parts of it, amplified. Everything I knew, it just gave you a little dirt. This was the greatest team I ever saw. It was the most glamorous team I ever saw. And it was the most relentless team I ever saw. Just nobody outworked them. Michael had a status. He was refined. He was dignified. There was a class with him that I think there's a lot of really classy guys in sports, but I think only Brady has that, where Brady feels like he could just buy all the other quarterbacks. Michael, right now, even when he came into the league early, there was just a dignity and he was royalty. He was American sports royalty. But I got one overriding thought here, is that, and this is a message because people my age know what I'm about to say. And I don't want to come off as a cranky old fart lecturing people. But most 20-year-olds in the media and most 18, 19-year-olds, there's a message in this whole damn thing. Michael Jordan's the best basketball player ever. And he had obstacles the whole way. Did his dad love his brother more than him? His brother physically beat him up playing basketball. He got cut in high school. His GM often felt like he had no respect for him. The owner would not give him a new deal, even though he was so severely underpaid for 7 of his 8 years. Go look at Michael Jordan's life. He then breaks his foot. Michael Jordan is the greatest basketball player ever. He fought with the Pistons. He fought with his GM. He fought with his owner. He fought with his body. He fought with his brother. He fought with his dad. It ain't easy. You want to be great? Stop whining because somebody sent you a mean tweet. It's hard. Michael Jordan's whole career, why he's so hard, why he's so tough, because it was rough. It was rough for him. Think about being as good looking as him, as fashionable as him, as smart as him, as great as him. He signed a bad early contract. The owner wasn't always in his corner. The GM was the worst. Thank God Phil Jackson showed up, or maybe he goes through 7 coaches. Doug Collins he fought with, you haven't seen a lot of that yet. The high school stuff, his brother, his dad. I mean, thank God for MJ's mom. I mean, he didn't get a lot of love from the boys in the family. So this idea that we're all freaking out now because somebody said something on Twitter, and I just can't. That's why guys like me laugh at all the people that get worked up on Twitter. Life's hard. Deal with it. Nobody wants your sob story. It's hard. I mean, Michael Jordan walked into the NBA, and he walks into a room. This is where he started laughing last night. It was good to see Michael Jordan laugh, like he had a guttural laugh. And he was told by the documentary makers, he's like, your team before you got there was called the Traveling Cocaine Circus. He didn't inherit a good team. He inherited a team that wasn't as popular as the local soccer team with a bunch of cokeheads and a GM that was a baseball scout. That's his road. And he got the living you-know-what kicked out of him by the Pistons, by the refs, by the Celtics. That's why he's great. He's not great despite that. He's great because of that. Just Michael Jordan is tough. And you know what? You saw that letter he sent his mom. He's a great kid. But Michael Jordan was about winning because he had to deal with nonsense his entire life. And so in the end, you were either about winning or you had no value to him. And I found Michael incredibly likable last night. He was worried about not being like, I've never liked Michael Jordan more than I liked him last night. I thought he was fantastic. He didn't have any time for nonsense. Because you know what? Some of his childhood was nonsense. Good God. We think people complain if they don't get this perfect linear path. That's not the way life works. That's not the way life works. I'm not analogous to Michael. I'm the luckiest guy in the world. God. I've gotten chairs thrown at me. Look at Joy, me. You don't get a job at the big network. It's hard. There's a lot of sucky days out there. Deal with it. Joy and I, we have climbed up both sides of the mountain. Up and up.